University of Minnesota and at the University of North Dakota. 6-time world champion, 2010-2014 Olympic silver medalist, and a 2018 Olympic gold medalist. I'm not much of a hockey person. I don't watch a lot of it, but I watched a ton of the women's hockey during the Olympics. It was awesome. I just kind of got into it. It was on late at night. It was perfect for me. That was some great stuff. It was really exciting. So we'd like to welcome Jocelyn Lamoureux-Davidson.
So I normally just pass. I got it. Normally just pass this medal around, so just do a medal check every couple minutes. So you guys are free to look at it, take a picture. Send it on Snap. That's what you guys do. So I have a couple things I want to share with you guys today, but with the medal going around, a lot of people ask what it means to win a gold medal. So ever since it was 98, so when I was in 2nd grade was when I dreamed of being in the Olympics, playing in the Olympics. Didn't really matter what sport, just wanted to be an Olympian. And then it kind of got narrow focused. My sister and I went to Shattuck St. Mary's, but ever since we were little, that was a dream of ours, was to win a gold medal. What you think about when a medal like that is being put around your neck, it's definitely not, it wasn't the goal I scored, it wasn't not to like bring it up, but it was a pretty big goal, and definitely not thinking about that or any individual accolades that have come along the way. It's about the teammates and the coaches that I've had, and I've had a lot of impactful people that have been a part of my career, and those are the people you think about. It's not about any statistic or any record that's been broken. It's about the people that have helped me along the way, and that brings me to how I define success. Because even if that medal wasn't gold, that doesn't define me, it doesn't define my journey, and it definitely doesn't define whether I'm successful or not. And how you define success, I think, really can make your journey more enjoyable or less enjoyable. And if you pursue a goal or a dream, whatever it is, whether it's you want to make the varsity team, you want to get better at X and Y in the summer, and you want to physically get better, you want to work out, you want to train, whatever that is, if you define a goal and you achieve and strive for that goal, in my opinion, that's what success is. And a gold medal has definitely offered me more opportunities than I've ever had to, I think, make a lot of impactful and meaningful, meet a lot of meaningful people, and to be impactful in different ways. And a gold medal has definitely given me more opportunities to do that, but it's definitely something that I'm proud of. But no matter what the color is, it definitely doesn't define my journey or my career. Which brings me to, I wanted to recognize or mention some coaches that I've had that are in this room. So Coach Bina is up here somewhere. I don't know, is George still coaching soccer? Yeah, so when I played soccer in 7th and 8th grade, George was our student coach. He was like the student trainer. So George was coaching when I was in 7th and 8th grade, and Coach Allen in cross country. And I wanted to share a couple stories about how they've made a difference in my career, in my life. So Coach Bean, I had him in Mites and Squirts, and so for the hockey players in here, I played on the Supras. I don't know if any of you played Supers or Blues, but we probably had like the best youth hockey team ever in Granite Works. And Coach Bina was our coach. This might be too much information for everyone, but in Mites we were doing dump in, D2D breakouts when we were like 7, 8 years old. Our team was pretty good, but Coach Bina was, from when I was little, coached me for 4 years, and always made sure I was paying attention, being respectful, and being accountable on the ice. And then George, I don't know, he wasn't really our coach, but he definitely made it fun. I was in 7th and 8th grade playing on a varsity team, and it was definitely intimidating going into a tryout setting at that age. And what I remember the most was just how welcoming everyone was. My best friends are from the soccer team that I played on in 7th and 8th grade. Those are people that stood up in my wedding. Those are the friends that, no matter what color that medal is, those are friends that I'll have for the rest of my life. And that is probably one of the more memorable teams I've ever played on. And I've played on plenty of teams, but that was probably one of the best teams I've ever played on in my life. And the sport was, it was 03, 04, I believe, the soccer team that year. And then Coach Allen, so I ran, the only sport my mom would let us play was football, and so we ran cross country, and Coach Bull Race, see you back there? So we had cross country, 7th and 8th grade, my sister and I ran, and it was the only meet that I ever won, but it was in Northwood. I'm not sure if you guys still run the Northwood meet, but I was behind Nora Narlock, who won state a couple of years. I was behind her probably by like 15, 20 seconds, probably half mile left in the race, maybe not 20, maybe like 10 seconds. And all I remember was Coach Allen yelling at me, almost running with me, but not quite running with me because he's not allowed to do that. But basically was yelling at me saying, "You're tougher than her, you're tougher than her." And that's basically what made me go even faster. And all of these sports have definitely made me the athlete I am today. If you put my sister and I in a conditioning test on the national team, we probably have the biggest engines on the team because we ran cross country in 7th and 8th grade. You can probably throw any conditioning test at us, whether we practice it or not, and do pretty well with it. Soccer, the footwork that I have from soccer definitely has been a huge piece of how I skate on the ice and agility, and obviously hockey. That's the sport we chose to excel at, but it's definitely offered me opportunities to travel the world, to meet a lot of kids who don't have a lot of opportunities, who don't have opportunities like you guys have. And what I want to transition to is ultimately what matters most. And can I get a medal check? Might have to move that around a little quicker. I'm not talking for an hour, so. What matters most is definitely how you treat your teammates or your classmates in whatever setting it is. It's what people remember are not going to be whether you won a state championship. Yeah, it'll be cool and you can reminisce about it, but your friends are going to remember you for how you treated them and how you were as a teammate, and that's ultimately what matters. If you were, you weren't a good teammate, you weren't accountable, you were a jerk, people aren't going to remember. That's what people will remember about you. And ultimately, statistics and championships, like I said, that stuff all fades. My gold medal will probably be in a box in 5 to 10 years and won't come out very often, because that stuff fades, and it definitely doesn't last as long as the memories of how people remember you. The opportunities that you guys have to be impactful is not opportunities that everyone gets, whether that's on your team, in your school, in the community. I've been fortunate where I've been able to see a lot of inner city communities and have an impact in a different way than coming and speaking to you guys. But I think you guys all have an opportunity to make a difference, whether that's on the field, on the court, in the classroom, outside of school. And all you have to do is, think outside yourself and just be aware of other people that might not have an equal opportunity. It's unfortunate that kids grow up and don't have equal access to certain sports or education. So you guys are very lucky, and I encourage you to take every opportunity that comes your way and take full advantage of it. And in closing, I just want to say thanks and congrats to all the winners. I did not get to graduate from Central, but I very much feel a part of the Central family. My brothers graduated from here, even though they didn't go to school here full time and left there early to pursue their hockey careers, but they came back and graduated because it was important to them and important to our family. I never got to go to school here, but I grew up watching my brothers play Central sports. I was fortunate to play Central sports in 7th and 8th grade, and my sister and I were fortunate to make the teams here, but we also weren't allowed to try out at the other school across town. So Central offered us an opportunity to compete under the Central emblem and the logo, and so we're very appreciative of that. Thank you for having me, and the medal just keep passing around. You guys can keep taking pictures or whatever you're doing. But thank you very much.